Hey, everyone. Welcome to Creating Your Desired Life with me, your host, Dr. Esther Graham. And our subject today is personal branding and visibility. Listen, this is going to be absolutely powerful. But of course, you know me, I believe all of our episodes are powerful and it reaches the needs of every viewer. So make sure that you share everything that we're doing so others can tune in. Listen, you don't ever want to keep anything that's good to yourself, right? You got to share it out and let others know what we're doing to empower humanity. So listen, my personal story of branding, as an entrepreneur, I have to tell you, branding is not something I knew anything about when I launched out to begin any of my businesses. And so, people would talk about branding and I just didn't know exactly what it was all about. So what did I do? I went on a journey to investigate and to find out. And what I found is that it's not as easy as it looks like, right? But branding is really, who you are, and it's really important to, let's say, who you want to reach and what your business is and how you're going to serve. And so my story has been this whole journey of branding, and now I'm really in the process of rebranding myself, right? As I have gained more knowledge and have really, y'all, stepped out. And believe it or not, I am really a behind the scenes person. And I know that it's time for me to step out and really reach everyone that I'm called to reach, let's say. And so I'm now rebranding everything that I'm doing. Why? So I could be more visible, so I can complete this awesome vision that God has really given me and just really step out. I like to call it launching out into the deep. I think sometimes branding, at least for me, is launching out into the deep and just getting your message, getting everything out there consistently. And so today, our topic is personal branding, right? And just, what do you do? Just getting visible so you can fulfill all of your goals and what you have been called to do to create changes in the earth. So my very special guest today is a branding specialist, right? And I'm going to quickly, because it's a phenomenal bio, so I'm going to take my time and read it. Dr. Lethia Owens, right, is ready to inspire us to develop a growth mindset and become influential leaders and unleash our power of personal branding. She is a guru in the branded industry, and out of 30 top branding specialists, I believe she is number 8 in the world. Guys, she is phenomenal, and you want to hear absolutely everything that she has to say. Her story is powerful. I like to call it from trials to triumph, right? To where she now is changing the world. Let's just say one person at a time, one business at a time, one branding session at a time. So ladies and gentlemen, please, viewers, let's welcome Dr. Lethia Owens. Come on in. Come on in, Dr. Lethia. Can you hear us? I think she's a little bit frozen, guys. So I'm going to talk about her just a little bit more as she jumps back in. Dr. Owens is a growth specialist. She's a professional speaker and a tech CEO. She is a game changer in every sense of the word. And as I said before, she's ranked number 8 among the top 30 brand gurus in the world. From high school dropout to a highly sought after international speaker, Dr. Lethia's journey is a testament to the transformative power of determination and belief. During our interview today, and let's hope she'll be able to jump right back on, Lethia will share insights into developing a growth mindset, becoming influential leaders, and again, building an influential personal brand. So get ready, as TD Jake says, get ready, get ready, get ready. Get ready to learn from her expertise and discover how you can redefine your brand and amplify your visibility. So as we prepare for Dr. Owens to come back on, I'm going to share up. Here she comes, y'all. Here she comes. Dr. Owens, can you go ahead and enter into the studio? I love when we are in the world of streaming live and technology. You kind of have to go with the flow. She is having some technical difficulties, but she will be right back on. So I am going to continue talking. So Dr. Owens and I met, I think it's several months ago, almost a year now, and we've just had some powerful conversations on branding, and she does a branding retreat in Dubai every year, and where it's by invitation only. And you go there and you get to mastermind with other branding specialists. Now, I have not been to that retreat, but from people who I've spoken to who have been, they have said that it is absolutely powerful. I have had powerful conversations with her, listening to her thoughts on branding, and said, oh yes, so good, to where you can just really increase your visibility from where it is right now to at a higher and at a deeper level. And as as we shared, and as she shared her personal story of being a high school dropout to now one of the top gurus in branding, her strategies on growth and how you can growth your business is just phenomenal. Her retreats that she holds, absolutely phenomenal. And even when she is a speaker at women's group and other conferences that she's often invited to, what she has to offer is so powerful. You would never believe that this woman was a high school dropout at one point. So one of the things that I definitely want you to do is go online and check her out at gamechangers.com. Check out what she's doing and listen to what she's saying. She's an author on several books that tells you about branding and gives you her life story. And so as we wait for her to come, hopefully her technology will be fixed and she will be able to jump back on. Here she is. Come on in, Dr. Lethia. Yes, I've been just talking about you. I told them a little bit about your Game Changers retreat and how that you are the number 8 in the out of the 30 top branding specialist gurus. I spoke about how you're a growth strategist, and you can just really help people increase their visibility. And while I have not been able to attend the retreat as yet, but I will be coming, of course, and as I told them, it's by invitation only. Yeah, I've spoken to people who have. Right? And they
Yes.
speak about how powerful it is. So today, just a conversation about how we can improve our personal branding and reach the visibility. And so one of the first thing I just really want to start out by, first of all, I want you to reintroduce yourself, but I also want to ask you if you can just take a moment and share your journey from the high school dropout to a highly sought after international speaker and growth strategist. How? Because I'm sure people are going to say, are you kidding me? How is that even possible that now you're a Dr. Lethia Owens? So talk to us just a little bit. Talk to us.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, my beginning was not so. Just really had individuals, my mom, my boyfriend, who just really championed me and taught me what it meant to really be a game changer. You see, most people think that being a game changer is about you being recognized for. Uh, how being great and being a goat and being amazing. But what
Yeah.
I really believe that being a game changer is really all about is about changing the game for someone else.
I love that.
making investments, making decisions that lead to game-changing moves for other people. And my mother, who quit her job so she could stay at home during the day, and she got a job at night as a security guard just so I could go back to school. Here I am now, known as Dr. Lethia Owens, because that woman made a decision that allowed me to go back and complete my education. She is a game changer. And I worked my way up through corporate America, had an amazing career as an IT leader, and decided through the encouragement of my VP level mentor to basically go out in the world and teach and speak and coach and train. And she told me, she says, Lethia, State Farm um, um, it will never be big enough to afford you all of the opportunities you were destined for. And I thought, wow, is this how they fire people nowadays? But it was a great start to the beginning of my career as a entrepreneur and personal branding strategist. And I have been doing this work for 18 years and have not looked back. And I am so excited to be a guest on your show.
Yeah, I'm so excited that you're here because I love hearing your story and I love your definition of a gate changer. It's not the goat. It's not this. It is the person who, was in your life that changed the game for you.
Yes.
And so when you say that, I think, oh my gosh, like I know I've had game changers in my life, but to think that I too am a game changer,
Mm-hmm.
that
Yeah.
I have the power, the ability, the skills, the knowledge or whatever, that I can change someone else's life. And so I love that definition because often we are looking at the big, they're the greatest of all time. They're this and that, and not degrading anybody for that, but to say, but I made a difference in someone else's life. I'm the game changer. I absolutely love that.
And it makes it attainable for everybody, right? So
Yes,
if I say being a
yes,
game changer is curing cancer
yeah,
or inventing something new, I might not have those abilities, but what I can do is make a decision that's going to change the trajectory of someone else's life. That could be like I donated a $2,000 camera that I purchased that I was using maybe once every 6 months.
yeah,
I decided to donate it to a young kid who was scraping up money just to go to film school in California. So him having his own camera and equipment was game changing for him. He now is producing movies, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
that small decision, I can't create a movie, but I could support someone who does have those abilities. So
Yeah.
that's really what it's all about.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it. And that is all it's what and it's the small moves because don't look at the big things. Look
Right.
at the small things because it's the small things that really can make a difference in a person's life. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So tell me, what does it take to develop a growth mindset and become an influential leader?
So here's the thing. Just like I said that with being a game changer, anyone can do it because it's a decision to think and act differently. When you're building an influential personal brand, which is not just important anymore, Dr. Graham, it is everything. Like
Yeah.
building a personal brand isn't just important, it's everything
Yeah.
because we live in what's called the wisdom economy. The
Mm,
wisdom economy. So we used to live in a world, if you just think back maybe 10, 15 years ago, the people who were winning were the people who had information. They had access to information. They knew things. Today, everybody knows. You could go on TikTok and learn how to do something, right? So
so true.
access to information is no longer a secret weapon or a competitive advantage. Everybody has access to the same information because of AI and the internet and automation. So what really creates powerful brands today are people who understand how to leverage the wisdom economy. And what that means is that in the wisdom economy, you are valued not for what you know, but for how you think.
Say that again for me.
In the
It-
wisdom economy,
yeah,
you
that's
are not
good.
valued for what you know. You are valued for how you think,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So you in previously you could be a person who understands leadership theory,
Yeah.
but that's not enough. You could have all of the information, but that's not enough. Can you use what you know about leadership to think in a way that can inspire people to come to work every day and do their best in spite of the challenges that they're facing?
Yeah.
That is wisdom. It takes wisdom to create a brand where people know, like, and trust you and will follow you anywhere.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And it's so, when you say it, it you make it sound so easy, you know, but I love that the wisdom economy,
Mm-hmm.
can you influence it? You make it sound so easy. Is it easy?
It is not easy because it requires inner work. And what I have found is people are deathly afraid of speaking, and I think they're deathly afraid of doing the inner work. Most people
That-
would rather be in the casket than give the eulogy, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But it
yeah. They're
requires inner
afraid.
work. And some people don't either know how to do it, or they are afraid to do it, because you build a brand based on who you want to be. You build a
Mm,
brand based on who you are, because your brand, you can have aspirational goals, but
yeah.
your brand isn't what you want it to be. Your brand is how you consistently show up every day. So I
Right.
can say I want to have a brand that is generous. Generosity is a part of my brand. But if
Yeah.
no one ever knows me to be generous, it's not part of my brand. So it's not about what you want it to be. It's about who you are. For example, Radio Shack said their brand is, you've got questions, we've got answers.
Yeah.
No, they don't. Because I went into Radio Shack on 3 separate occasions, and what I got back from the person behind the counter when I asked my question was, I don't know. So your brand isn't what you want it to be or what you say it is. It's who you actually are being in the marketplace. So until you do that inner work, the version of the brand that's showing up is a version that is just surface deep. And
Yeah.
people can see they can see through that a mile away now, because people are trained now to see authenticity, to see and appreciate vulnerability
Yeah.
and transparency. And if your brand, and you can only be that way if you've done the inner work, and if your brand, and I'm not saying that you have to be in the streets telling everybody your business. That's not
Right.
what I'm
Right.
saying.
No. Yeah.
But you have to be authentic. You have to be vulnerable. You have to be transparent about some of the things that allow people to see into who you really are, because that's how they're going to fall in love with you.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
work is not easy, but it is necessary.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. And I love that you said that it's not easy, but it is necessary, because the uneasy part is the inner work. The uneasy part is your branding is who you are now and not who you want to be. And I think of myself with my own business. When I started, at one point, my branding was one way. And as I grew, it was me then. But as I grew, I'm in the process rebranding to where it meets to who I am as this person. And what I found was that I'm way more transparent now
Mm-hmm.
than when I started.
Yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
the reason for that is because I did the
Yes.
inner work to
Yes.
where I can say, no, this is who I am. And then people, again, are attracted to your authenticity. They're attracted to your transparency. That's who they want. Other
Yes.
than that, then you're not helping anybody. You're
Mm-mm.
not, so I love how you said, you have questions, we have answers. No, because that is their brand.
Right. Right.
So true, so true.
Yeah.
So how I think you kind of spoke to it just a bit, but just a little bit more. How can someone build an influential personal brand that resonates with their audience? I know you said transparency, authenticity. Is there doing the inner work? Is there anything else?
Absolutely. So really building an influential personal brand, number one, you have to get to know yourself.
Yeah,
And see, some people think that they can go on Canva, create a little logo, pick
yeah,
some colors, pick a font that they love, and throw it together and think that that's going to be a personal brand.
yeah,
No, that's like putting pig on a lipstick, right? I mean, lipstick on a pig,
yeah,
lipstick on a pig. Well, the other way too, but it's putting the cart before the horse. But
yeah.
it really is about picking colors that aren't necessarily your favorite colors, because your favorite color doesn't matter.
Right,
The
right,
colors you choose need to communicate the essence of your brand. So that's why you never see doctors use red in their branding.
right.
Like red symbolizes death. Who wants to go to a doctor that all their branding is red? Because
Mhm.
subliminally it's communicating death, right?
Yes,
So
yes,
you see blue used in hospitals and doctors' brands
yes,
and things, green for life, right?
yes, yes.
So it's important to understand the psychology of colors. So branding is something that you typically need an expert to help you with. You may be able to do some of the work yourself, but you
Mhm.
need someone who can guide you through. If you're not an expert in the psychology of colors, if you're not an expert in UI design, if you're not an expert in messaging and making it concise and really writing a message that connects with the heart of your audience in light of who you are, you need some assistance with that. So, like I said, it's not easy, but it's necessary. But some of the things that you want to create is you need a name for your brand.
Right,
People
right.
often, especially speakers and coaches, they come to me and they say, "Oh, my brand is Leaders and Teachers International Incorporated." And I said, "That's not your brand name. That's your business name.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what they put on the check. But what is your brand?" Right. So I had a guy who wanted my help with branding, and he had this long name, something like what I just, Teachers Leaders International LLC or whatever. And when we finished his story and his brand, he was like, "I was orphaned, grew up in foster care, tried to commit suicide 5 times before I was 25, but
yeah,
now I'm a real estate mogul. I own X number of properties, da da da." Just he has a real estate brokerage firm, all this stuff, right? And I'm like, "How did you go from being suicidal to a serialpreneur?" And he
yeah,
told me his story. He said, "Every day I would wake up and I would think myself, even though my circumstances were horrible, I would think myself into a different position." And I said, "So you have the audacity to dream?" He said, "Yeah." And I said, "That is your brand." So we built a brand called the Audacity to Dream. Now
yeah. I
that
love it.
I
Yeah,
get goosebumps when I think about
yeah, yeah,
Teachers United Leadership LLC. That does not move me. So your brand should move the people you're called to serve, because your clients have been predestined to work with you before the foundation of this world was ever created. When they were created, God knew you were their answer. And so
mm,
you have to be you, because they won't recognize you, because they don't even know that you exist, but they know that they're looking for you. That's why when you meet certain people and you tell them who you are and what you do, they're like, "Oh, I've been waiting for you."
yeah,
They
yeah.
didn't even
I,
know
I,
you existed.
yeah, I need for you though. I need for you to go back and say that one more time. So because we need to hear it again. I need to hear it again. We're predestined. Go ahead.
Yes, yes. Your clients have
Yes.
been predestined to
Yeah.
work with you before the foundation of the world was ever even created. So
Yeah.
God knew you would be the answer
Yeah.
to their issue, that
Yes.
you would be the solution to their problem. He created you to be that solution.
Yeah.
So nobody else can take my clients. I don't have to worry about competition. All I got
That's
to do is
right.
be the most authentic version of myself, so that
Yes.
when you meet me, if you are assigned to me, if I'm assigned to you, that we both recognize that when we meet. That
Yeah.
is the work that you
That.
do in branding and marketing. That's why your authentic voice is so important.
Yeah. So this is so good. I like to say that I'm not called to everyone, but I am called to someone.
Yes. And to
You
that
know?
one, you
Yeah.
are everything.
Everything. And so that's many times when I'm thinking about my brand and, and I'm thinking about all of these things. It's like, because sometimes we're looking at the big and we're looking at this and and I have to remind myself, wait a minute, I'm not called to everyone, but
Mhm.
I am called to someone. And that person I'm called to, I am the solution
Yes.
to
Yes.
whatever they're experiencing, to whatever it is that they need. And when I speak, they will hear me.
Yes.
They
Yes.
will hear me. I
Absolutely.
love that. I
Yes.
love that. So then, Dr. Owens, tell me, what role does visibility play in personal branding? Like, this is like such an important question for me, because I know that I struggled with visibility.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I made a joke one time. I told someone I want to be seen, but I don't want to do this. They said, "Well, how could I want to grow my I said, I want to grow my visibility, but I don't want to be seen." Absolutely impossible.
Impossible.
So what role does visibility play in
Oh,
personal branding, and how can we increase our visibility in today's digital world?
absolutely.
This is so important because, again, for me, I knew I needed to be seen. I knew I needed to be visible, but I didn't want to be seen. And then I always use like, well, I can't because I'm not technology. I had every excuse,
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. We
you
make
know?
excuses. Yeah. I'm so glad you asked that question, because visibility is so essential. I often say obscurity is the enemy of an influential personal brand. Like, you cannot be invisible. So invisible contributions
Yeah.
meaning that you're doing the darn thing, but you're doing it in a vacuum. Nobody knows you're doing it. Like you are
Yeah.
the bomb, but
Yeah.
you, your mama, and two other friends know it, right? Nobody else
Yes.
knows it. So invisible contribution has no value.
Yes.
Do you get that
Yes. Yes.
invisible contribution? So you have to learn not only to be the bomb, but then to effectively communicate to the world that you are the bomb and
Yeah.
do it without arrogance and without ego, right? So
So
that's where
good. So
visibility
good.
comes in. Yeah, that's where visibility comes in because it's your purpose. It's your birthright to be powerful in the space that God created you. You
Yeah.
were created for this work. Why not be the bomb? Why not be
Yes.
confident and walk in confidence and power, knowing that you are transforming lives? And so visibility is required so that so here's the deal. You know that you've been created to be the solution for someone.
Yeah.
But if you're not visible, they will never find you. They
So
will
good.
never find you. They will never scroll and find you. They will never listen to a podcast and find you. They will never turn on the TV and find you if you are not showing up in multiple places. And the reality of how I got this award, being ranked number 8 among the top 30 brand gurus in the world by guru.com, is I was seen everywhere. I had a program called Be Seen Everywhere. And
Yeah.
I took my social media, my technology background, and my knowledge, and I figured out a way how to just flood the feeds of all the social media platforms of Google. If you did a search on personal branding or certain keywords, I showed up for like the first 20 some odd pages.
Oh,
I was
wow. Yeah.
dominating, right? And
Yeah.
so being visible and being seen, here's the thing. Now I do not discount and I do not promote not being good at what you do. I think you need, at the foundational level, you need to be great at what you do.
Right.
But here's the thing. My life and business changed once I got that award and once I was seen everywhere, because people assume that if you are everywhere, you must be the best. And we
Yes.
know
Yes.
that's not
That's
true.
true.
But that's the
They assume
perception
that's the
that people
perception.
hold
Yeah.
in their mind, is that if
Yes.
she's everywhere, she must be the bomb. She must be the one I need to work with. So my phone started ringing. People started inviting me to speak at their conferences, and things happened that I don't know if they would have happened or doors would have opened had I not been visible. So visibility is the key to building a thriving brand in the wisdom economy. So showing people not just what you know, but being visible and showing them that you think differently. Like even talking about game changer. The way I even approach being a game changer is different. I think differently.
Right.
That is
Right.
a part of the wisdom that I'm imparting in the world. I'm not just saying build a brand, create a brand name, your colors, your fonts, da 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 da. I am sharing knowledge and information that shows you that I think differently.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. I love it. You see, I'm all tuned in. So can you share some strategies with us for overcoming obstacles and embracing change on the journey to personal and professional growth in branding?
Absolutely. One of the things that we need to do when it comes to change is we can either be resistant to change or we can see change as an opportunity. But we need to learn how to thrive, grow, and lead through change, because change is inevitable. It's happening everywhere.
Hold on. You said thrive, grow, and
Grow and
lead
lead
through
through change.
change. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thrive, grow, and lead through change, because change is inevitable. It's part of the new norm. When you think about how much change and growth has occurred in just the 23 years of this century, it is more than all of the growth
Yeah.
and change and knowledge and information that occurred in the previous century. Right, just in 23 years of this next century, of this century that we're currently in. And so the learning curve and the rate at which people are growing and changing and information is being produced is rapidly scaling and changing. So as a professional, as a business owner in this current wisdom economy, it is critical that we learn how to adapt, because the people who are going to win in this economy are people who can adapt on a dime, who
Yeah.
can pivot on a dime. People who are not, so when change happens, some people go, that's the
Yeah.
resistant, like, oh man,
Yeah.
I just learned this. Now I got to learn something new. Oh, Facebook done changed their algorithm again. Instagram gonna drive me crazy with, like
Oh, let me raise my hand. One hand. That boy, that's a
woo, right? So that's
So
how we
true.
and that's how we normally want to show up. But we have
Yeah.
to program ourselves. We have to reframe our thinking, and we have to train ourselves. And the first step is to go from a resistance to change to learning a posture, a neutral posture. Because
Yes.
here's
So
what
true.
is so
Yes.
important for people to realize is when I have this resistance to change,
Hmm.
it impacts how I hear
Yeah.
you, and it impacts how I receive the message. When I
Yeah.
have a neutral response to change, I'm able to see things that I can't see if I'm frustrated.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
the next step is learning. Once you really develop the skill of being more neutral, being more open-minded as things are changing, then you go to being the change inspector. When things are changing, the first thing you're looking for is, where's the opportunity?
Yeah.
How can I leverage this? How,
The
where is
change
my scene?
inspector.
Yeah,
Yes.
where is the
Yes.
scene in time that I can walk through? When you think about Oprah walking through a scene in time, she took advantage of a point in time that had an opportunity that
Yeah.
she could leverage. Change was happening all around her. And
Yeah.
we have to learn to be the change inspector. We are looking for change because there are opportunities in every change. Every change creates a gap, and in every gap, there's an opportunity. When Netflix showed up on the scene, they created an opportunity for live streaming,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So when Airbnb came on the scene, they created an opportunity for the everyday person to start leveraging and making money from their home. Even you don't even have to own it. You could be renting an
Yeah.
apartment and you can rent a room. So now you can pay your rent by having somebody else rent from you,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
this opportunity that exists within every gap. And so when you become a change inspector, you're looking for change. You're
Yeah.
looking for the opportunities that change presents. So now you go from being resistant, huh, to you learn how to be neutral. And then the next step is learning how to become enthusiastic about change because you
Yeah.
realize there are opportunities.
Oh, I love that. You go from being, when you're a change inspector, you change your perspective and now you look for opportunities
Yes.
in the change. I know for me, like I said, when I said my one hand with for Facebook, again, that goes back to that visibility, right?
Yes,
And
yes.
and they were changing things. And one day I said, you know what? Let me change my perspective. I gotta show up. And I gotta, because people are looking for me to show up on Facebook. And one day, my daughter even said it to me. She said, people are listening to you on Facebook because someone said something to me. I was like, oh wow. They no, this is what happened. They came up and they said, hey, they saw me somewhere and they said hi. I didn't have no clue, absolutely not one, no clue who that was, right? And my daughter said she sees you on Facebook,
Mhm.
she sees you on LinkedIn, and I started thinking, I do need to show up more. I do. People are listening to me. It's like it was like a light bulb went on, and so from realizing that, I had to totally change my perspective on how I showed up every time. So I
Yeah.
love, a change inspector in this wisdom
Economy. Yes. Yes.
economy. I love that. Guys, those are key points that you really need to key into. So you said you had a couple more.
Yes. So when you think about in this wisdom economy and how you really want to show up, it's important for you to learn to reframe your thinking,
Yeah,
right? And one
yeah,
of my favorite ways to reframe your thinking is a technique by Dr. Carol Dweck. And she says, this is how I say it.
yeah.
I say can't should always be followed by yet. So you may say, man,
Right. It's
I
the growth
can't run.
mindset.
Right.
Yeah.
I can't create my own Facebook ads
Yet.
yet.
Yeah.
I can't roller skate yet.
Yeah.
I'm a hobbyist, hobbyist pilot, and I've taken off on my own. I have flown the plane by myself, but I have never landed by myself. Right.
Right.
So I would say I can't land the plane by myself yet.
Yet.
So I'm reframing my thinking,
Yeah.
right? The second one is instead of saying I have to, say I get to,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? I have to figure out these Facebook ads and this social media algorithm. Guess what? There are people who don't have their own business, who don't have the freedom that you have, who don't have the opportunities that you have. So you get to do this while someone else has to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like see everything that you are able to do with the eye of gratitude and a
Yeah.
mindset of gratitude, realizing that you get to do this.
Yeah.
You could have been bedridden, paralyzed,
Yeah.
and unable to speak. Right. I just watched a documentary about this young guy who couldn't speak but was very intelligent.
Yeah.
So there are a whole lot of things that you could not have an opportunity to do.
So
So
true. So
instead of
true.
saying I have to do something, reframe and say in light of the change, I get to
You
do
get
so.
to.
Yeah.
It's like saying, life doesn't happen to me, it happens for me.
Yes.
You know, it's not to me, it happens for me because everything I could learn, I could grow, I could increase. So good, so good. So, Dr. Lethia, tell us, as we close out this piece, give us some let's say closing words, and then how can people find you? I gave the website, but I want you to give it just in case I said something wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
That's okay. Wonderful, wonderful. So I would just say in closing, I want you to, we talked about authenticity. I
Yeah.
just want to really bring home the point, Dr. Graham, that all you have to do is be you. There
I
are
love it.
people who are going, there are people who are waiting on you,
Yeah.
people who are going to love your socks. Like they don't care, like they will love everything about you because you are the one they have been waiting on. And so just be yourself, be authentic, and building your personal brand is really just about walking through the world boldly and authentically you. That's all you
Boldly
and
and authentically
authentically
you.
you,
Boom.
right?
I like to
That's all
say,
you
this
really have
is
to do.
me. This is
Mhm.
me.
This is me.
This
And
is
so for
me.
some people, you're not going to be their cup of tea. But
That's
for
right.
some people, they will try to bottle you up, put you in a jug, and take you home with them
Yeah.
because you quench the thirst that they have had for
Hmm.
so
Yeah.
long.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just be you. Don't try to be Melissa. Don't try to be John because you'll never be a great impression or copy of them. You can only be the best version of yourself, and so focus on doing that instead of trying to be like everyone else. And so as a person who wants to build a powerful and personal influential brand, just be yourself. Be generous
Yeah.
and be kind,
Yeah.
because I think that the people who move about the world who have those attributes,
Yeah.
you are going to be noticed, which impacts your visibility because so many people are not showing up that way. It's
Yeah.
kind of like when everyone is using email, you use a fax machine.
Yes.
So everyone is all
Yeah.
about themselves. Everyone is all about being quick. Everyone is all about look at me, look at what I have, look at what
Yeah.
I right. But when you are saying, look at Dr. Graham, let me share with you about this, new resource. And it's not look at me, but
Yeah.
it's like let me serve you, serve you, serve you. Then you're going to build a brand that has the power to transform lives.
Yeah.
And that I think is what's really important. You can find me on almost any social network by my name, Lethia Owens. So that's my handle on almost every social media platform. And you can even go to my website, either lethiaowens.com or gamechangersint.com. They point to the same place.
Awesome. Listen, this has just been an absolutely powerful, powerful conversation. And what I love about this conversation today about personal branding and visibility is not only just pointing to those, to the viewers or the listeners that are entrepreneurs or they're CEOs or they have their companies, but I believe it's also to your personal life. You're the CEO in your home.
Yes.
You
Yes.
know, you're the CEO of your children. And so what is even that personal brand and visibility in your home, in your leadership position, wherever you are? And
Yes.
this is what's great about this conversation. So it's a two-way conversation. You could take it and use it in your business, and you could take it and use it in your life, in your personal life. Because believe it or not, as we're going through business and personal life, we are branding.
Yes.
We are showing people who we are every day.
Mm-hmm.
Every day. And
Yes.
so the question then is, what is your personal brand? You
Yes.
know, What is your, and so, Dr. Lethia, I have, branding is something my visibility is something I'm always working on. Why? Because I know God has called me to a group of people and he's called me to do these things. And I know that I struggle with visibility because I like my privacy. I don't ever,
Yes.
I don't have a issue with being authentic or transparent, but I just like to do it privately.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Many of us are like that. Like I'll share it in a small group, but here it is when God calls you to something greater, that visibility question is like, how do I do this to be visible? She's given us the steps, everyone, to how we can do it and while it's a lot of work, it takes work. Everything. If you're called to greatness as we all are, if you're called to serve a purpose in this earth as we all are, then if you're looking for the easy way out, that's what you're not going to get.
It's so interesting you said that, because what I've discovered about God is God will often use visibility as your ministry. He will make visible those challenges and failures that you've experienced, because he wants people to be able to see where he brought you from when
Yeah,
he blesses you
yeah,
publicly, right? So
yeah,
it's just interesting how visibility is often a ministry for
yeah.
that he uses for most of us.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. So, so good. I thank you so much for joining us. You guys heard how you can reach out to her, how you can find out more about her. And listen, she's given us some nuggets. So as you begin to, as we begin to go into our self-reflection, let's go ahead and give Dr. Lethia some love, Dr. Owens some love. I know we'll be hearing more from her. I guarantee we'll be hearing more from her. And so I'm so super excited. Thank you so much for taking the time. I know you're just so busy. And I thank you for coming on and joining us on Creating Your Desired Life. So thank you. Take care. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Yes, my pleasure and honor being here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So everyone, Dr. Lethia shared with us her wealth of knowledge and practical strategies for developing a growth mindset, becoming influential, influencers, leaders, and building an influential personal brand. It was just so, so good. So let's, some of the key takeaways and the actionable steps that she gave you. I want you to think about what she said in this, in the day and time that we're living in, how you can how you can amplify your brand and how you can increase your visibility. So let's just take a few minutes and let's just do some self-reflection. I want you to, again, get your journals if you have your journals there and write, do some self-reflection. Go ahead and write it down. And if not, just go ahead and take a few minutes and close your eyes and begin to think about your personal brand and visibility. And what are you doing? Are you showing up authentically? Are you being transparent? And remembering that your brand is who you are right now. It's not what you're going to be. It's not what you're going to be. And so begin to think about, who are you right now? And are you showing up authentically? Are you being transparent? Are you representing your brand? So let's just take a few minutes and let's just reflect and think about some of the things. What steps can you do? Ask yourself, what steps can I do to take and develop a growth mindset and become an influential leader in my field? Or how can I build an influential personal brand that authentically reflects who I am and resonates with my audience? We already know. So you got to first find out, who are you? And then what strategies can I implement to increase my visibility and amplify my message in today's digital world? And so she has really given us the answers to all of that. So as you're reflecting, I want you to think about what she has said. So let's just take a moment and do some self-reflection. was so good. Self-reflection time. Listen, just because we've stopped the self-reflection in this moment does not mean that at the end of this show that you don't that you can't self-reflect some more. Take that time and do some self-reflection. How are you showing up? How are you showing up? Our quote of the week is by none other than Dr. Lethia Owens, who we just had the privilege and the honor of listening to. And her quote is, "You are bigger, better, and more valuable than you have ever been taught to believe." Are you hearing that? You are bigger, better, and more valuable than you have ever been taught to believe. Go ahead and tuck that in and let that quote guide you for the rest of this week. Our celebration, right? And Ask Dr. Esther. I forgot about Ask Dr. Esther. So listen, I don't believe, oh yeah, we do have a question. Here is the question for Ask Dr. Esther. What's the best time to think about brand identity before you start your business? The best time to think about brand identity is before you get out there and start your business. So if you're looking at starting a business right now, before you start it, before you make some decisions, think about where you are right now. Think about where you are right now. Listen to the clues and what Dr. Lethia has taught us, what we have talked about in this segment, in this episode, right? So before you start your business, start looking at your branding right now, right now. Our celebration. Yay. Come on, y'all. Let's celebrate. Our celebration is this. Listen, this past in ending of June, we had It's Time to Re-Up. And it's my live event that happened in Wilmington, Delaware. And so I am celebrating the transformation that took place in the lives of the women and some men that showed up. It was so powerful. The guest speakers was awesome. And guess what, y'all? I showed up. I was visible and I taught. And let me tell you, it was so transformative. So all of the ladies that came and the men that came, all of the volunteers that were there, and to all of the guest speakers, thank you so much for joining us and for showing up and for celebrating. It was powerful. The lives that were changed, that was changed, and the transformation. Listen, I was a game changer. I was a game changer at the live event, and others that were there were game changers in the life of someone else that was also there, that they met at the soiree and they connected with and they networked with them. And now lifelong friendships have been created. So thank you again. That's what I'm celebrating. The FDD Soiree 2024. Listen, 2025 is coming soon. So mark your calendars. It will be here next June. Make sure that you are in the house. You don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. Thank you, everyone, for joining me in this enlightening conversation with Dr. Lethia Owens as we explored the power of personal branding and visibility. Don't miss out on future episodes where we continue to dive into the topics that inspire personal and professional growth. Listen, we are speaking about creating a desired life, creating your desired life. This is what we're doing based on the Life by Design foundational principles. So don't forget to join us each week at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the I Have Today Show TV network on 360 TV. And don't forget to connect and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and make sure that you're also subscribing to Facebook and join my Life by Design community on Facebook. Subscribe on LinkedIn and look out for the show every Monday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the I Have Today TV network on E360 TV. Take care and God bless you. See you next time. Bye.